Have you already heard about the Syncfusion Toolkit for .NET MAUI? This new library, completely free, fully open source, developed by Syncfusion, is full of controls that you can use in your .NET MAUI project to speed up your development. It's about time that we go check out what it's all about. Chances are that you already know about Syncfusion because they have been around since basically forever, at least as long as I can remember, and they have been putting out amazing controls for all kinds of platforms, right? We're going to talk about .NET MAUI in a minute. Before that, it was Xamarin, but also WinForms, WPF, ASP.NET, Blazor, and even outside of the .NET ecosystem, right? Flutter, Vue, React, JavaScript things, all kinds of amazing stuff. And I think they do even more than the components as well, but that's mostly what I know them for. And since a little while, they also have a MAUI toolkit. The .NET MAUI team, me, we have been working closer together since a couple of months at the time of recording, and as part of that partnership, they released a new library full of controls developed by Syncfusion. I think those are just controls that were inside of their paid tier first. They have paid controls. They're probably going to keep it that way, but they took some of them and made them available for free and open source in a library that you can now pull into your .NET MAUI project and use for absolutely free to speed up your .NET MAUI project development. So let's just dive in, have a look at what it has to offer. At any time during this video, feel free to subscribe, of course, but also let me know down in the comments if there's any control, any feature that you want to know more about, and I will see if I can create a follow-up video for that one. So let's hop over to my screen right here, and I pull up the website first for Syncfusion. Like I said, they have a bunch of paid things as well. A lot of people are always asking me like, hey, I want to have that DataGrid, right, which is in here. I would doubt that that would ever be a free control because that is just so such an extensive control, very hard to maintain. A lot of effort and love goes into that, which is really amazing. But you know, you will have to have something to back up like the free tier here as well, right? So make sure that you also go out here if you see something that you need. The chances are that you are not going to be able to develop that for less than the cost that you have to pay for a license here, right? So go check out all the amazing products right here. They have a bunch of very cool sounding names as customers right here, so that's cool. Read more about our partnership, and here we go to the controls list. Right now, again, this is like their full controls list. This is paid controls. This is their website with products. But just to give you a sense of like what is in here, right? DataGrid, charts. They have their own list view implementation, a scheduler, do all kinds of things with Excel and Word and PDFs, right? PDFs are also still very popular. And here you can see it, right? The DataGrid, all kinds of buttons, all kinds of controls here available for you to use, a signature pad. It kind of like never ends a tree view. Some people are crazy about a good tree view, so you can get that in your .NET MAUI app as well. Now, this is all of them. This is all the things that you can get support for. You can buy them and get all those things, complete pages, and they have a sample application, right? We'll see a sample application in a minute, but they also have a sample application in the stores or on TestFlight or on Google Play. You can download that, get that on your phone to get a sense of like, hey, how do they actually act? How do they respond when you actually have them in an app, right? So you can check that out for completely free and see if this would be something for you for in your own app. So that's all there. But now let's switch over to the free stuff because that's what people are mostly interested in typically. And that's right here, right? github.com/syncfusion/maui-toolkit. That's where this all lives since a couple of months. And they have been releasing new versions, I don't know, maybe every month, but at least at a good cadence with adding new stuff and, of course, doing some bug fixes and that kind of things, but also adding new controls, new features, and all this amazing stuff. So go check this out as well. Start a repository. I've already done it. I expect to have more stars on here whenever this video gets released. So I'm looking at you, dear viewer. Make that happen. That's the least that you can do to show your support for all this free stuff, right? So make sure you do that. And then if we scroll down here a little bit, we get a little peek at like what's in the box, a little description right here, and we can get some cool screenshots. We can already see some charts, a navigation drawer, all that kind of good stuff. Install .NET MAUI, the documentation, they have very good documentation. I'll show you in a second. And then all the controls that are in here. We have some data visualization. We have some charts in here. Cartesian charts, super cool. Circular, funnel, polar, pyramid. We have a calendar control that supports all these month, year, decade, century views. You can have multiple selection modes. Editors, a date picker, a time picker. We have that in .NET MAUI, but these act a little bit different. There is enough space in the whole .NET and .NET MAUI ecosystem for multiple implementations of one control, right? Numeric entry, OTP input. So if you have to enter like a one-time password or a PIN code, they got you covered. They have a specialized control for that. Full navigation, right? They have a bottom sheet, super cool. I have some other videos of bottom sheets for plugins, but they have one as well. Find the one that suits you, that suits your needs in your project. It might be this one. Navigation drawer, a tab view, right? Also something that people request multiple times. A fully customizable tab view. I've seen this tab view. Will go into the demo in a little bit, where there is a centered button that you can actually use to trigger an action, right? That's something that people always ask for as well. So that's in there. Layout, cards, expander, buttons, notifications, and some miscellaneous like effects view and shimmer. So whenever you load some data, you can show that little shimmer effect, right? That it kind of like animates a little bit before the actual data shows up. So lots of stuff to do here. Installation, super easy. .NET add package, Syncfusion.maui.toolkit. And then, of course, you can just add this to your CS.proj file or install it through your NuGet package manager in Visual Studio, or however you would prefer that. Then, as for a lot of libraries, you will have to do a little bit of initialization, add a little using statement here, syncfusion.maui.toolkit.hosting, and then add like configure Syncfusion Toolkit to your Maui app builder, right? So I think that's all you need to do to kind of like get up and running with that. And then from there, declare the XML namespace and start using their controls and all the things. And you can find everything, how to use it, the API reference in their documentation. So this is in help.syncfusion.com, Maui-toolkit, and you can get like a full reference of like the SF accordion. They prefix everything with SF, right? So Syncfusion accordion, you will get the overview. I think for some you will have a little video or at least a screenshot, and you can dive into like, hey, how to get started, how to customize the appearance, what events are there, do all these things. The bottom sheet that I just mentioned, same thing. We have an overview. Oh, here we actually have the screenshot, right? So you can have the screenshot. Something is selected here in the background in the list view, and then a little bottom sheet with all the details pops up, and you can go from there in your application. Super cool if you ask me. Now, what they also have as part of this repository, let me scroll back up here, is a sample. So all the code is here, right? It's all open source, and you will see that most of the controls are drawn controls, so kind of like having the same approach as like Avalonia in the .NET space or Flutter in the competitor space, where everything is drawn on the screen, right? And some other controls are actually like the .NET MAUI paradigm, where everything is mapped to however the controls should look like and feel like on the platform. But I think most of these are actually drawn, which has the advantage that they look pixel perfect on each platform. And you know, that's cool for people who have the needs to do that. So that's all the source there. That's all in this Maui folder. And then we have samples too, right? So in the samples, there is a gallery, basically the gallery. I'm not sure actually if this is the exact same that is released to the store that you can actually download and try. Maybe it actually is. Although I think that the one in the store probably has all the controls for like the full control suite, right? So it's probably not this one. And you can pull this one down and start playing with it yourself. And then there's the sandbox one, which is probably used for development purposes, where you can, test some scenarios and do all of that. I pulled down this whole repository. It's GitHub, it's Git, it's open source. You can do that. Loaded it here in my Visual Studio. It's already running, right? So I got that here, and I loaded this project right here, and you can see it set up with like a bunch of folders. We have the samples, we have the sample list. It looks like it follows the MVVM pattern, right? We have all the views in here, we have the view models in here, so we got a bunch of stuff to work with. And you can use this as a great reference. This is typically how I learn best, to just pull down a project and inspect its code. You can do it on GitHub, but I prefer to do it in the tools that I kind of like are familiar with, and I can actually play with it and run it again and see what changes. So that's all there. You can pull it down, or you can just run it and see how it all behaves, right? So I did that. I started running it on my Android emulator right here. And then you can see everything that's on here. So if we run this control gallery project, you will get all of this. It's nicely categorized. So you can scroll through all the things that are here, which is basically the list that we've just seen on the repository as well. And we have this data visualization, right? So the Cartesian charts are updated. Super cool. Let's click on it. Let's see what happens. It's a little bit sluggish. That's my machine and the Android emulator. So not to blame on the Syncfusion Toolkit right here. But that's all my machine. And you can see like, hey, this is super cool. We got a couple of variations. We got this little button right here to expand this thing, right? So you can see it full screen and then go back again. Maybe we have some interaction here as well. You can actually see the actual value here of this bar that we are showing here. We can go back. We can change the type, right? We can see it in columns, or we can see it in bars, or we can see it in lines, or we can see it in areas, or all these kind of cool things. And then they have some other variations here too, with empty points and showing the legend yes or no. So basically almost every scenario that you can think of, you can find it here in the code on how to set it up, because especially with charts it can get complicated real fast, right? Like how to declare all these things, and especially then with XAML, maybe like, oh, lots of verbose XAML and you have to divide it up in x-axis and y-axis and all the points in there. How do I do that? Just look at this repository, ask your favorite copilot. That usually helps too. Yes, I have to do a little bit of AI in here. You've asked me to do that, so we're going to see some more AI. But you can see that all in this repository, right? So charts, okay, we got some other charts, right? Let's see the pyramid one. Pyramids are always cool. You can do all of this stuff, right? Super cool. Other stuff, layout. Carousel, right? Carousel view, also something that's in .NET MAUI. You can love it, you can hate it. This is a different take on the carousel, and you can see like, hey, this is the carousel that Syncfusion is offering, right? It probably has some options. The demo is a little bit basic right here, but still looks super cool, right? You can do all these interactions. Looks like a cool carousel that you can also do on iOS and Windows, of course. So all of that is there. Expander is something that we have in the .NET MAUI community toolkit, right? So all kinds of toolkits, all kinds of amazing free libraries out there for you to use. And you can expand little sections in here to make them bigger and smaller and kind of like collapse and see some more details here. So we got that. But I promised you the tab view, right? So that's a big one that people always ask for, to how to customize the tab view, how to make something amazing out of that. Well, here we got some different variations. This is just the getting started. We see a bunch of people on here, and then the tab view is down here. Although I suspect that the tab view, the tab bar up here that they're using for their sample app is also the tab view that they're actually building. Tab view inception, if you will. So you can see it down here, favorites, recents, and you can go to different pages, right? You can fit to content, and then the tab view moves you here at the top, and you can scroll it. I can do it by, I'm doing it with my cursor right now, but on a device you would do it with swiping, right? Or you can use little buttons right here, and you can tap on that, and it will go to these things, and you can go to all the people right here. And the one that I mentioned, like here, the center button, really, really cool, is where you have like, hey, we got this sample right here. You have the tabs on the left and the tabs on the right to actually show, I don't know, these are emails or something or whatever, a chat interface. So we have all that. And then we have the little messages right here. And then we have some more on the right as well. And then a little profile view. But then here in the middle, you can start drafting a new message. Boop. And you get this new pop-up. I suspect this is the pop-up control that they also have right in here. But you can trigger an action from the center button here at the tab view, which is, if your app requires that, right? I can definitely come up with scenarios where that would be useful, like this one. Then this is a very cool layout that you could use. Another one would be like the floating action button, right? Super easy to implement as well. But this center here in the tab bar really works well for this too. So that's super, super cool. The bottom sheet that we've already seen, right? So we got that as well. Let's see if we can pull up the little sample. We got pizzas right here. So we got this overview. And then whenever I click on one, you get the little bottom sheet here from the bottom. Makes sense. And you can do all these things, right? I can make it even bigger, right? So that I can see all the options. I can interact with it. I have the radio buttons right here. I have the check boxes. I can make it 2 or 3, and then I can add the item, and it will probably go back down if that's what they implemented. Seems like they haven't, but you can pop it back down and now add that to your shopping cart and go from there, right? And if you're like, oh, maybe I wasn't sure, you can do this a little bit down, and you can bring it back up, and you can do all these things, right? I personally like the bottom sheet always when implemented nicely, but this is now something that you can absolutely do. Segmented control, right? Also cool. The shimmer, it was a little bit hard to explain what it exactly is, but the shimmer, you're gonna see it right here. Like this is still loading, right? It's loading something from a feed, and you can say the wave direction. I'm not sure if the animation shows up really nicely on the recording right here, but we got like the wave direction, wave width, repeat count. So you can set like, hey, how many items does it show, right? We can do it for a video. So they have a couple of templates, I think, maybe implemented for, to have a little, mimic a little bit more like, hey, this looks more like a video or an article or some profile, right? You will have like the avatar views. So they got a couple of templates, and I'm pretty sure that you can customize this whole thing as well, right? So, or some chat view, and it's loading this shimmers right here, and then it comes up with all the data, right? So that's a very typical pattern that you will see in mobile applications or desktop applications even there. Article, same thing, and you can see that it pops up with this new data right here. So all kinds of cool controls. There's not enough time. I'm going to bore you with all the things if I go through them one by one. So definitely let me know what is of interest to you for all these controls, and I will make a follow-up video for you on that one. I think this is super cool. Syncfusion has been super helpful with this library for you, but also super helpful with the .NET MAUI team in this collaboration that we're in together to speed up things, bring you new things, better things, more stable things, and this library as well. So let me know, are you already using this library? What are you using it for? What do you want to see in a next video? I'm very curious to know. Let me know down in the comments, and maybe check out this video as well. That will tell you everything that is coming in .NET 10 for .NET MAUI, which is really exciting as well. And I will see you for that next one.